Welcome back. Right now, we're almost 1 year in on President Trump's second term since his inauguration in January. We've witnessed a dramatic and transformation 12 months in America. NBC's Holly Jackson looks back on the key moments.
Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
Starting on Inauguration Day, clear signs this Trump presidency would look different the second time around. Not just because weather forced the ceremony inside. On day one, a move to settle scores.
Approximately 1,500.
With the president pardoning or commuting the sentences of hundreds involved in the January 6th riot at the Capitol, and a show of force of executive action.
Could you imagine Biden doing this? I don't think so.
Among those day one executive orders, creating the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, led by Elon Musk. The president's new cabinet, one-time opponent Marco Rubio as Secretary of State, vaccine skeptic Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as Health Secretary, and former Fox News host Pete Hegseth at the Pentagon.
With the American media,
along with Vice President J.D. Vance, less a team of rivals than a group committed to advancing the Trump agenda. One of their first priorities, cracking down on illegal immigration.
We're getting these monsters out of the United States, out of Florida, out of all the places that they're in.
Hey, you guys good over there?
Government data reviewed by NBC News shows border crossings plummeted in the first year of the Trump presidency, with ICE arrests doubling. The administration's immigration policy sparking protests. In June, the president deploying the California National Guard to Los Angeles, the administration saying it was to protect federal property. California's Democratic leaders calling it a stunt. The National Guard later deployed to Washington, D.C., too.
We're not going to let it happen. We're not going to lose our cities over this. We're starting very strongly with D.C., and we're going to clean it up real quick.
Also on the president's agenda, trimming the federal workforce. Thousands of federal workers fired as part of those cuts, though hundreds would eventually be hired back, and DOGE itself was disbanded in November. And just as Musk's time at the White House was ending, a rift with President Trump over the so-called One Big Beautiful Bill.
The One Big Beautiful Bill to secure our borders, turbocharge our economy, and bring back the American dream.
Musk criticizing it as destructive. The president not happy.
Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we're well anymore.
Musk firing back online. Time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. Musk's tweet, part of the renewed interest in the case of Jeffrey Epstein, a one-time Trump friend and later convicted sex offender, accused of trafficking underage girls before he died by suicide in jail in 2019. President Trump has long denied any involvement with Epstein's crimes.
I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. I threw him out of my club many years ago because I thought he was a sick pervert. But I guess I turned out to be right.
In November, after the longest government shutdown in American history, a bipartisan bid to try to force the release of the Epstein files succeeded, largely because of the support of several Republican women who split with President Trump, notably Marjorie Taylor Greene.
For the president to call me a traitor for standing with these women, I honestly don't really care what his opinion is. I know I did the right thing.
The White House itself evolving in the new Trump era, with concrete in the Rose Garden and construction of a new ballroom that led to destruction of the East Wing. In February, an Oval Office meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky turning confrontational.
You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people.
The president taking credit for helping the peace push in multiple other conflicts, most notably with the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas in October. At the same time, stepping up pressure on what the administration said were South American cartels using boats to bring drugs into the country, with the strike in September receiving renewed scrutiny weeks later when it was revealed 2 survivors were killed in a so-called double tap attack.
And we will keep killing them so long as they are poisoning our people with narcotics.
That's tariffs.
One of the most notable days of the first year of Trump 2.0, April 2nd.
Liberation Day.
Or what the administration called Liberation Day, with sweeping tariffs announced against major trading partners.
April 2nd, 2025 will forever be remembered as the day American industry was reborn, the day America's destiny was reclaimed, and the day that we began to make America wealthy again.
But through November's off-year elections, the economy and affordability remained key issues. President Trump dismissing concerns.
Affordability is a hoax that was started by Democrats. You know, it's 10 months.
President Trump spending the waning days of this year touting what he described as a strong economy. But on that, voters will decide before those all-important midterms next November that could impact the rest of his presidency.